Hello everyone, welcome to another video in the National 5 and Higher series. Today we are looking at gathering data and in particular how we do that and how we do that effectively. In National 5 we have used the 12-minute Cooper run and we've also used the mental toughness questionnaire to gather data on our CRE and our mental toughness. The higher folks, they have also at this point used the Illinois agility test to gather data on their agility. But when we're gathering data, there's a number of key things that we need to consider in order to make sure that tests are reliable, accurate, valid, and that they're easy to use. Okay? So what that means is how practicable the test is in terms of how difficult is it to set up and to carry out. So there's a way to remember that, and that's just RAVE, okay? So if you can remember that kind of acronym, then you'll hopefully be able to work out what the words are from that. So the R, reliability, the A, accuracy, the V, validity, and the E, ease of use. So, reliability, we're looking at, can this method be repeated again? Was the data actually recorded? Does that make it reliable data? If you can do it again and it comes up with the same result, then it's going to be a reliable test. The A, accuracy. So can you trust the person observing you? Do they have sufficient knowledge of what they actually have to do to carry out the job? So for example, when we were doing our 12-minute Cooper run, some of our informed observers weren't that observant and didn't watch the runners running around the 12-minute Cooper run as well as they could have, so the test results were not accurate. Therefore, when we swapped over, so we did it in pairs, the first group went and did it first, and then we swapped over so that the second group would go. We set up the tripod with the camera so that way the footage kind of tells us exactly how many times an individual runner went round. We're not guessing, we're not trying to figure out, oh, is that 4 or 5 times they've been round? It's kind of there on footage, it can't be changed, and it can be referred back to a later date. V is validity, so is the method standardised and can it be completed under the exact same conditions? So in terms of whether it's valid and is the method standardised, well, we know that for a standardised test, such as the Cooper run and the Illinois agility test, there are things called national norms. So they're rated under excellent, good, average, below average and poor. So you can work out what score you got from the test and then compare it to the national norms to work out whether you fall into the excellent, good, average, below average or poor category. And that makes it pretty good because it kind of shows you a national average, so it means that somebody who's completing the test up in Shetland, somebody completing the test in the Borders, because the test is exactly the same, no matter where you complete it, you can compare it to the average for the whole kind of nation. E stands for ease of use, so is it easy to set up? So for example, the 12-minute Cooper run, the most difficult thing for us was making sure that we had a track that was the same length, so that when we repeated the test in the future to see if we had improved, then we would know if our score actually had improved, because if the track was a different size, we're going to get a different score. But coming back to is it easy to set up, things like the bleep test, we're looking for 20 metres gap, 2 cones at either side, and then we're needing a speaker at the side to play the bleeps. So as long as we have all of that and one person at the side to record the data, then we should be sorted. So it's relatively easy to set up. Is it time consuming? It kind of falls into that as well. If it's easy to set up, it's not going to take a lot of time to carry out, which is ideal for us in school because we're at a 50-minute period, so by the time we get changed, it's less time. So we really have to use the working time in class. So whether it's time consuming is really important for us. And is it easy to understand protocols? So is it easy to understand what it is you have to do? I think for the majority of tests, looking at the 12-minute Cooper run, the mental toughness questionnaire, and the Illinois agility test is fairly straightforward once we do a wee demo and talk through it. So that's one for you to remember, is RAVE, reliability, accuracy, validity and ease of use. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.